Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and today I got another tier list for you requested by the people. This time we're going to be talking about CTPs because of the fact that a lot of you guys decided to attack the bingo head on this time around simply because the Future Fight team were gracious enough to give us, as you can see, 10k crystals. Unfortunately, you don't get the full 10k before the bingo ends, but it's actually not that bad because a lot of people, when it comes to the anniversary, generally save up a good 5, 6, 8, 10k because they expect the bingo and other things to be coming that they need to spend crystals on. So I'm seeing people play the bingo for the first time, gamble in this game for the first time, and they're getting their hands on mighty or brilliant CTPs for the first time. So they're hitting me up asking for my thoughts. So I figured I'll put together a tier list for you for all of the major CTPs in the game. You're not going to see the CTP of Transcendence on this list. You're not going to see Patience on this list. And you're not going to see Veteran on this list, okay? When it comes to Patience and Transcendence, those ones are basically just throwaway CTPs. You use them to re-roll other CTPs. In case you're new to the game and you don't know what I'm talking about, this CTP right here, if you get it, don't ever reforge it, don't even equip it. You use it to try and get access to a brilliant. To be honest with you, I toyed with the idea of not even putting the CTP of regeneration on here because of the fact that it's fallen off so far that honestly there's not that many characters in the game that can actually use this thing and actually remain relevant. Like, even if you give this to some of the best PvP characters, they will look, I would say, average. Like if you gave this to Sentry or Wolverine or Adam Warlock or Thanos, those characters are amazing for PvP, but if you give them a weak CTP like this and then they go up against characters, or themselves rather, using the proper CTP, they're gonna get washed. Okay, so never put those CTPs on. I don't have a Veteran, but it's super rare and it's not that good. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. I know you guys probably get tired of me talking about tiers and whatnot, but yeah, this is what we're looking like. I have a lot more characters to add. I figured I'll start this ahead of time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces if you've been watching the videos over the last couple days. But yeah, this is how it shakes out for Luna Snow. Primary CTP, Rage for ABX ABL. Secondary CTP is CTP of Judgment. It will make her better for War Boss, but worse for ABX ABL. Keep that in mind. Next up, we got Deadpool. Deadpool, I already have a copy of him. Ooh, I dropped him. Don't give him regen. I already have a copy of him in the Conquest section. We're also gonna put a copy of him in the Authority section here because he's actually decent with it. There we go. And you could give him a CTP of Greed. Okay, moving on. Iron Man. Honestly, Iron Man, I'm gonna put in the CTP of Energy, but he's also really good with a CTP of Rage. And the reason why I wanted to include a couple characters in the CTP of Energy category is because of the fact that it's a good CTP, but it's just fallen off so far. Once upon a time, this was the best CTP in the game. It's just sad that it's fallen down the ladder so much. Anyways, we got Leader here. Leader, we're gonna put in the CTP of Insight category because you use him for 1 day of ABL. Agent Venom. Agent Venom, you want to consider a CTP of Liberation or a CTP of Insight. Either one of them will work great for him because he's just there to buff your Null or your Venom. Speaking of Venom, am I missing Venom from this list? Yes, I am. I'm gonna have to snag a copy of him in a sec. We got Venom, and we're gonna put my boy right here in the CTP of Rage category, around the same level as Iron Man, maybe a little bit better, especially if you have Agent Venom in the mix. Then we got Molecule Man. Molecule Man is primarily for AC or timeline battle. I don't really see him in other world battle, or you could use him in team battle arena. Liberation is good for him because that'll make him stay alive a little bit longer, or you could give him honestly a CTP of insight because he's just there. Actually, no, you'd want to give him like a CTP of authority, right? Because his leadership, yeah, his leadership will turn off extra damage to heroes and villains. So you want to consider either an authority for him or a liberation. Okay. Next up, we got Morgan Le Fay. Now, Morgan Le Fay, you're going to consider either a CTP of Insight or a CTP of Liberation. And the reason why you want to consider the Liberation is because she has debuff removal to universal types in her kit. So she has a little bit of value for Team Battle Arena since there's a point restriction. So if you're using a full universal team, or she has value for AC. Don't really see her too often in other world battle, but obviously she has the PvE buffs for ABX, ABL, and World Boss. Mystique, I would say the most you'd want to consider for Mystique at this point is an Insight. She doesn't have much in the way of PvP potential, and she's fallen off already. Speaking of Insight, we would put Proxima in the Insight category as well because she gives you extra damage to heroes and villains. And then I guess you could put her in the Liberation category as well because she has the Black Order team for AC. It's just up to you if you want to actually build your characters for PvP. We're gonna put Red Hulk in the Inside category as well, and in the CTP of Liberation category only if you use Titan Hulk for PvP. If you use Titan Hulk, if you use Titan Hulk for AC or Team Battle Arena, since Titan Hulk gives you more HP, that's gonna buff your Hulk. Just something for you guys to consider. Magic. We're gonna put Magic in two categories here: Magic in Greed and Magic in Conquest. Okay, she is really, really good. I wanted to include some free-to-play options in here that are still meta. I focused primarily when I was gathering these icons to do this tier list on the S tier and the A tier characters. There's some B tiers that could get a CTP, but I think you want to give your CTPs to the very, very tippity top characters, and I think these are the ones. So we will consider either an energy or a destruction, but I think a destruction is probably the way to go for Spider-Gwen if you're not using her for ABX/ABL. And the reason why you'd be using her is if you don't have Luna Snow, because you need a speed female human, right? If you just need a speed female, then you would obviously go with Gamora, but she's an alien, so keep that in mind. Okay, Gamora can go with rage, energy, or destruction, up to you. If you're primarily using her to kill world bosses, the destruction is better than the energy. But if you don't have keep in mind, you need a mighty destruction, whereas a regular energy would be okay. Okay, so we'll do it like this. Sharon Rogers, I would say probably the best character in the game to give a CTP of destruction to. Cable is also really good with a CTP of destruction. I had him with one for a while, but I think Sharon Rogers is better than him. After, we'll just put her here because she has a little bit of AC value. And then we have Ronan. Now I already have Ronan in Insight, but Ronan is good with Liberation as well, because you can put him with you can do something like no lead with Agent Venom and Ronan for AC, and then that frees up your Carnage, your Sleeper, and your Spider-Man for another team. So just something for you to consider there. Let's see, one of the few characters in the game that can actually do well with a regen is Hela. You're going to notice that she has one of the most icons in here. She's kind of like Adam Warlock in terms of the fact that there's so many different CTPs that she can work with. Like, you could truly give her an Insight, you could give her a Liberation, and like all of these are viable options. Now, there's not even like a joke CTP thing. Like it's literally a viable option for her for Otherworld Battle, for AC, for Conquest, for Team Battle Arena. I'm gonna keep getting those mixed up, but it is what it is. And I would say another one you could consider is the Conquest or the Greed. Like honestly, she has so many CTPs available to her. Like the only thing she's missing is iframe ignoring her base kit. If she had that, she would be insane. Like honestly. So Insight for Wasp and what you call it. Then we have Liberation for her as well. Okay. Umbaku, another one that you can consider for her Insight. Just want to make sure that I have the. Ooh, why do I have Morgan Le Fay twice in here? She's supposed to be in Liberation. Oh, she's in Liberation, so I guess I have an extra copy. Now, Logan. Logan is one of those characters that can use multiple different CTPs. So if you're coming back to the game, this Wolverine is like none you've ever seen before. This truly is the best version of Wolverine. They made him. I should have gotten another icon for him actually, because he can use a rage, but honestly, you're making him weaker by using him with a rage. I would say PvE, Destruction is the best, followed by Energy, and then for PvP, Greed is the best. Okay? Silver Surfer, you want to give him either Conquest or Authority. Like Authority is like a distant second to the Conquest, but there's so few to go around. So let me go ahead and I'll put him, I think Thanos right there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Taskmaster, another character. Currently, keep in mind, Taskmaster is getting a new uniform in like a week and a bit. So you don't want to buy this version of Taskmaster yet. You want to wait and see what's going to happen. But because he has buffs to heroes and villains, and because he's used in so many days of ABX and ABL, you could consider a CTP of Liberation. What you want to do really is look at the I tried to make it so that all of the PvP CTPs were at the top and all of the PvE CTPs were at the bottom, but I think I should put the Liberation and the Insight side by side. And the reason why, hold on, move this up a little bit, is so that you make sure that there's no overlap on days in ABX and ABL. Because a lot of times you're going to be using White Fox and Nick Fury together. Where's Nick Fury? That's why I only have one copy of Nick Fury here. Like, although Nick Fury is one of the best supports in the game, you wouldn't want to put a Liberation on him and then a Liberation on White Fox, right? And White Fox is also supposed to go in the Liberation category, right? So whichever one you give a CTP of Insight to, the other one you would give a CTP of Liberation to. That way you're getting both buffs, right? Because the Liberation can be rolled for PvE and PvP. So you want to look at the categories and then make sure that every day of ABX, you have a Liberation character and an Insight character working together with your main DPS. That's how you want to do it. And then you also look at these characters as well and say, okay, from all of the characters that have days where they work together for PvE, which of them can also do PvP? Like, for example, a character like Shuri is often used on PvP teams for AC. So you'd want to consider her for a CTP of Liberation as well, as opposed to a CTP of Insight. I should have gotten a copy of her to put in the Liberation category, but you get what I'm saying, right? All of these support characters can truthfully be placed in either one of these categories. Anyways, moving on. So same goes for like Valkyrie. I would say Liberation for Wong makes a lot of sense. Hear me out. I know people don't like Wong like that, but the truth is Wong is amazing for Doctor Strange for PvE content, but then also really good for buffing Magic and Doctor Doom. Where's my Doctor Doom? Why is my Doctor Doom not here? Okay. Apparently some of my icons are missing, so let me just go grab Doctor Doom. All right, back. We got Doctor Doom, and we're going to slot Doctor Doom right here in the CTP of Authority category, right behind Thanos. I really would like Doctor Doom to get an amazing uniform that put him in multiple categories, whether it's... Actually, I guess technically Doctor Doom can be used with a CTP of Rage, but you wouldn't want to do that at this point in the game. He's not like Thanos, where Thanos has two uniforms that he can rely on that switch him from being good for PvE and PvP. So that is kind of unfortunate. Moving on, we got Gwenpool. Gwenpool is a CTP of Rage for ABX ABL. I'm gonna put you right here in the insight category. And the reason why I'm giving you so many insight options is to open up the options that you have, the pool of options that you have for CTP of Liberation. Like Mysterio, I would put him in a Liberation. Like he has quite a few days for ABX and AB. I think he has like one for ABL. Yeah, I use him with leader. I would say Reed you could give an authority to. An authority, conquest, greed, either one works for Reed. Thor, I would say he's also deserving of a CTP. I'll put him right there. Actually, probably I put him behind the ABX meta guys, but anyways, it's up to you how you want to structure your own internal tier list about which characters that you use. She's also one to consider if you don't have the paywall seasonal for Crescent. And then put you in the insight. Rogue is either Rage or Judgment. Okay, so we have one in Judgment, we put one in Rage. It's up to you. Let's see. Polaris, we're gonna put insight, but my own Polaris, I'm actually gonna switch her over to Liberation because I find that she does really well in Alliance Conquest. So when I have a character that I often pair her with Dazzler, right? And Dazzler I already have an insight on, so it doesn't make sense to keep these two as insight characters when I can put a Liberation on her, and then I'm getting two different buffs that will buff my scores for ABX, and at the same time make her a little bit better for PvP, where she's actually doing fairly well right now, even with the insight just being on her. So yeah, secondary CTP for Psylocke. Let's see, Loki, only option for him, it really is Rage. I do not like using Loki, but yeah, some people like him and they like the fact that he scores a little bit higher, so that's why I got to put him in here for those people. Another character that's ABX meta, Bullseye. I personally don't use Bullseye, but hey, it is what it is. It's not about just what I like, it's about what's the actual factual truth. All right, so we got insight for you, Liberation for you. Liberation, I think she's what you call it, worthy of a Liberation. Don't know why I have two. Anyways, we could do Liberation for Strife if you just want to buff your Otherworld battle team with him as a support, or you could put him with a Conquest or an Authority, whichever one, it's up to you. Strife is actually pretty decent. And then for Black Widow is actually really good with a greed, or if you want to go PvE with her, which I would not, but you could go with destruction or energy for her. She's actually really good. Like, she's better than she's ever been, but it's up to you. You could also go with an authority on her as a secondary CTP. Now, Judgment, you could go like this for Beta Ray Bill, and then you could then rely on him as a support later on, or you could put him as a Liberation character. But since he doesn't have any PvP value, I would say ideally focus on the characters that either give you extra damage to heroes and villains, like Wong, because then they have a little bit of PvP value even if they themselves suck. Like Wong has iframe ignore. He doesn't really have anything in his kit that's PvP related, but he just overlaps with so many characters for ABL and ABX, so it just makes sense. Abomination, insight character. Let's see, Storm, insight only. Angela, insight only. White Fox, sorry, not White Fox. Close. They got white hair, Black Cat, White Fox, you know what I'm saying? Close enough. She's an insight, could be a Liberation, it's up to you. Mama Jean, we're gonna put Mama Jean also in the Judgment category. So if you don't care about the fact that she's kind of relevant for ABX, you could put a Judgment on her and it makes her really good for zombies, and it makes her a lot better for World Boss Legend. These two are probably the two strongest elemental characters for World Boss Legend Plus. Yes, better than Luna Snow, I know. Eat your heart out. Deadpool. Did I put an extra Deadpool, or is there actually somewhere you could use him? I think I put an extra Deadpool. But you can kind of see how the regen, yeah, there's just not that many characters that are good Honestly, I think I put an extra wasp because we already have wasp in the inside. Yep, and then we have wasp in the liberation. I think this is about where the list shakes out, guys. Honestly, I know there's a lot of duplicate here, and it may breed some confusion. But what I wanted to do is highlight just how useful some of these characters are, and also give you as many options as possible. Some free to play, some paywall, but at the same time trying to stick to the higher tier characters in the game. Like I could honestly try to do a top 10 and then include multiple different characters, but there would be a major disparity between the strongest characters and the weakest characters. So it just, in my brain, didn't make sense. It made sense to just give you a lot of different options to consider, because I think there's still, based on just a brief scan, 50 characters in here. At least, right? Anyways, ladies and gents, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace. Let me know if there's anyone I missed. Oh yeah, I just realized I have Bullseye in the energy category. Bullseye is a CTP of Rage.